1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1 through 7. Qualifications of a pastor, bishop, elder, leader. 1 Timothy 3, verse 1 through 7. It is a trustworthy statement. If any man, well, we can stop right there. Listen, this man right here is masculine, and he's talking about a male, not talking about a woman. He's talking about male. He's not talking about mankind. He's referring to a male. So right there automatically disqualifies a woman from being a pastor, being a leader in God's church. He says, if any man aspires the office of overseer, it is a fine work. Notice, look at these personal pronouns. He desires to do. An overseer then must be above reproach, the husband of one wife, not the wife of one husband. The husband of one wife. Do you see that? He goes down, verse 4. One who manages his own household well, keeping his children under control with all dignity. But if a male does not know how to manage his own household, how will he take care of the church of God? He can't be a neophyte or a new convert. He cannot be that, so that he will not become conceited and fall into the condemnation of the devil. Verse 7, and he must have a good reputation with those outside the church, so that he would not fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. Do you get the point that the office of pastor, elder, bishop is reserved solely for a particular gender? It's for men. And oh, by the way, in case you think as a man you qualify to be a preacher because you're a man, no, the qualifications are for men who fit the qualifications. Not every man is qualified to be a pastor. Only certain ones are qualified to be a pastor. So just because you're a man does not make you qualified. What makes you qualified is you fit the qualifications that God has irrefutably stated. But in case you thought that we are just making this up on, I'm making this up, let's go back to chapter 2. Chapter 3. Look at verse 14. Paul says, I'm writing these things to you, hoping to come to you soon. But in case I am delayed, I write so that you will know how one ought to conduct himself in where? Do you see the preposition? He says that you, church at Ephesus, churches abroad that names the name of Jesus Christ under the authority of God. He says that you ought to conduct himself, that you know how one ought to conduct himself in the household of God, which is the church. Can't get any clearer than that. Which is the church of the living God, the pillar and support of the truth. God said, this is how I want my house to function. I want men to lead. I want women to submit. I don't want women to be over in authority of men. That is not how I want my house, God says, to run. You may do what you want to do in your house, but when it comes to God's house, he says, I have established an order and an authority, and no one is to switch and change that up for the sake of cultural expediency or convenience.